Well, hello there. How you doing? It is I, Professor Sheehan. El Profesor Maravilloso, as they call me in my country. Anyway, today I'm going to be recording some sounds of the kitchen for a video project I'm working on that you may have seen called Very Cherry Berry. And I'm going to be doing it with my cell phone. I have a Samsung Galaxy S8. I'm never one to get the latest model and run out as soon as it's available, so I'm a couple of models behind, but I believe this has a pretty decent microphone. I haven't used it for anything too serious. I use the voice record app on here a lot when I come up with song ideas, like I might be driving down the highway and I come up with just some melody pops into my head that I think is really good, so I might pull over somewhere and hum it into my voice record app, or if I'm home I might grab a guitar or whatever instrument is there and just play a really rough, crude recording just so I have that idea to go back to. And sometimes I might record some cool, like if I'm out and I hear it's raining or there's some cool birds or just some really cool ambient sound, I might record it, but I haven't used any of it in a project yet, any of the actual sounds I've recorded. So we're going to see how good it comes out. But when we're in this situation, when we're basically quarantined for the coronavirus as we are right now. And I unfortunately did not grab all the equipment I could have grabbed at school before I came over. So normally I'd record these sounds using a shotgun mic, as I believe we've done in class before. But I think we'll get some pretty decent stuff out of this. So the first thing that's important is going to be to make sure the environment has as little background noise as possible. So right now, if you look to my left, I don't know if it'll be prominent in the picture, but one of my family members has a fan blowing in the hallway out here. I'm not actually sure why, but rather than turn it off, I can probably just close this door and get 99% of that sound out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and close that up. Also, over here I have a water cooler, as you can see, and this makes a certain amount of noise. Right now it's not really making any noise, but sometimes when it's cooling the water up, it will. So I'm going to unplug that. Okay, now, so I still hear some sound here in my kitchen, but unfortunately the main thing I'm hearing at this point is the refrigerator, and I don't want my food to go bad, so I'm not going to unplug the refrigerator. And I'm just going to record the things I'm recording very close up. I'm going to hold my phone very close to what I'm recording, so that I'm getting more direct sound versus background sound. But the reason I'm recording stuff, this is for the video Very Cherry Berry, which you have probably seen already, or at least seen snippets of in progress. And you saw that I was basically making a smoothie and running a blender and putting things in a blender cup. And the production sound did pick up the sound of those things, but we were just using the camera microphone, as I am doing right now, in fact. And it's not like, even on a professional shoot, we would have had shotgun mics that were mainly pointing at the actors to pick up their dialogue, so they're not really pointing at the other things. So we'd probably want to add better sounds in post than what we got during production. In some cases I'm just going to record the same exact sound but with a much closer recording using my phone, and in some cases I might do what you call hyper-real sounds, where I don't record the exact thing. Okay, so here I am again. So if you've seen the video, which I'm calling Very Cherry Berry, after the type of smoothie I make in it, which I use as a means of self-defense, as you'll see in the amazing video that I made. I basically, in the first part, I'm making a smoothie and putting different ingredients in a blender. This is the actual smoothie I made yesterday. I didn't finish it yesterday. In fact, I put a little extra banana in there. I'm going to grind into this. The iPhones, and I think the new Galaxies and most new phones have pretty good built-in mics. So I'm going to get it's called, I believe, voice recorder. Yeah, there it is. Even though I'm not recording my voice. And I got that ready. So the first thing I do in the video is I pour into one of these cups some of these seeds. I'm going to be making another smoothie for myself right now, so I'm going to be having some real healthy nutrition yesterday and today. So I'm just going to get it really close up and pour it. I'm going to pour it for a while, maybe pour more seeds than I need. Because I want it to be longer than it is in the shot rather than shorter. If it's shorter, then I gotta chop it up or time stretch it or something, and that's a pain. So I'm just gonna pour like a lot in here and probably pour some back after. Now the microphone's gonna be down here because when you're talking on the phone, right? So you're gonna kind of go like this. Okay, so I'm now going to pour some rice in. I've emptied out the seeds, and I'm going to pour some rice in. Why am I doing that? Because this will make a hyper real sound. The rice will be kind of louder, which won't be as realistic as the actual seeds, but might actually sound better and cooler, and just add some sonic interest to the recording. Because the first part of the video, I mean, I'm making a freaking smoothie. It's not, the most inherently interesting thing, so I have to make it more interesting with music and sound effects and things like that. Of course, I gotta log back onto my phone. Okay, so let's get this going here. I guess I have a pretty lame smoothie shop because we use a bunch of frozen stuff. That's why it's only $5 instead of $7. Like, if you went to what's that place? I don't know, whatever they call that chain that makes smoothies. So I'm gonna do the actual thing, and again I'm gonna do a hyper real type of thing. So here's some actual berries going into the cup. Okay, so now for the hyper real sound of the frozen berries, I'm going to use actual ice cubes. I'm just giving myself some options to check out. And I think I poured that a little fast, so I'm going to do it again. Okay, so another sound that you hear in the epic scene where I make a smoothie, I am putting some protein powder in, and I shake the extra protein powder out into it like that. So I'm going to record that in a few ways. I'm going to do the more realistic, and then some hyper real versions. Like I'm going to do it here, then I'm going to do it on that, which will sound different, and then I'm going to do it on both of them using this, which you can probably even from the camera mic right now tell is going to sound substantially different. Okay, so let's, in order to make it realistic, I'm going to put some actual protein powder in here, because that'll kind of dull down the sound of this cup a bit, and plus I need to get some more protein. Alright, so let's get that voice recorder app. I better make sure that I'm not showing you my secret code on my phone, right? Okay, so let's start this up, and get it over here. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work because you can tell it's ceramic. And you can probably tell that this is plastic, not glass. Would be weird if it was glass. Okay, but you know, sometimes you just try things and see what happens. So let's try this. That sounded pretty good. And the last sound is going to be the actual blender, the NutriBullet here. I'm giving them some free advertising. Okay, so in a previous video you saw me spot this sound, but that was the one from production. So again, it was the camera mic real far away, so I'm assuming I can get a better, cleaner sound of this up here. And blenders are just really good sounds to record. Another cool thing to record is like on a microwave oven, right? These beeps and stuff. Any kind of electronic stuff around your house could be very good for sounds that you might need for something else, like if you were doing a science fiction thing with lots of machinery and stuff. So in another video we're going to talk about how to process sounds and make them sound, make things that sound very different from the original sound. And also in another video we're going to do the Foley, so the footsteps of the other character you've seen in the video. We're going to do some Foley for that and talk about how to make the footsteps sound like they're getting closer or farther away. Alright, so let's see. This is probably still recording because I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and record this now. And I'm going to record it from a little farther away because it's kind of loud, so I don't want to make sure it's not clipping from being too close. Alright, cool. So let's stop recording now. I'm going to be careful on my app to name this, call it Very Cherry Berry SFX. So if you're following projects, you're going to have to record some of your own sounds rather than use a sound library. So, you know, you're getting a bit of an idea how to do it right now, and we'll have some more videos getting into some, you know, deeper concepts regarding that. Alright, so I'm going to turn off the camera and then we're going to get this stuff into Pro Tools. Depending on what phone and what app you're using, there might be different ways you get this on your computer. You might be able to just connect to your computer via USB and drag it over, or you could even just email the files to yourself, or maybe put them on your Google Drive if you've got that set up with your phone. So you figure out how to get it to yourself, and then you can import it into Pro Tools or whatever DAW you are using. Alright, see you real soon. Now in Pro Tools, I've got the sound effects from my phone are on the lower track here, which is muted because I already listened to them and chopped them up a bit. And so this is called the sandbox. It's not part of the final production, just a work area really. And I'm gonna start throwing some effects in and then syncing them up. I've got my cue sheet here so I know what needs to go and where. I don't have sync points in the clips yet. The clips are all here in the bin at this point. So I'm going to be putting them approximately in place, and then I'll make some decisions and I'll sync them up very precisely with spot mode and sync points. So the first one is the seeds being poured. So I'm going to drag that onto my hard effects track. Now I also have a hyper effects track. I'll show you what that's about momentarily. So this needs to go at 9.747. which is there somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Let's do the berries now. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put the rice there. The rice was what I used for the hyper sound. So I'm going to put that on the other track. Again, I'll do 9.747. Again, since I don't have the sync points all set, that's not going to be precise, but it'll put it in the general location. Let's do the berries now. Berry is up here. I think I want the second one for that. And that's going to go to 18389. Almost right on top of the other one there. So now I used ice for the hyper version of that. So let's get the ice in there. I'm sure that's going to overlap a little bit actually, but we'll let that be for now. So we're going to go 18.389. Okay. Now we've got 4 scoops starting at 39.063. So we have, let's see, the cup bangs plastic, and then the one with the spoon is the hyper one. So I'm going to put this up here. And that starts at 39.063. Alright. And let's get the other one down there as well on the hyper track. So it's 39.063 again. You don't have to do it this way and have an audition process with 2 tracks for hyper versions. It's just something I'm doing so we can listen to the differences and see which approach we like best. The blender sound. Let's put the farther one as the not hyper. So that's going to be at 105.969. The one that was closer is the more hyper one. It's actually called Too Close. So we'll put it at 105.969. Okay, now we have the rest of it is something we're going to do in a different video. That's the second half where the intruder walks in. Okay, so let's see what's going to sound good here. Let's show the video. You need to really look at the video in order to decide what sound works best. Remember, it's not going to be in sync right now, but let's just get a sense of which seed sound we think will be better, the actual seeds or the rice. I'm going to go ahead and mute the music. Okay. Alright, so that's obviously a bit late, but what we could do actually is go to shuffle mode now and trim it like that, and it'll move over like so. Of course it messed up the next things, but we'll deal with them when we get to them. Okay, so there's that. And then let's see what the rice is going to be like. We'll shuffle that maybe to grab the trimmer and trim it to probably there. Yeah, so I kind of like the rice actually. So I think we're going to go with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute the seeds so I remember that I want to use the sound that's down here. I'll probably end up putting them all on the same track. Okay, so let's check out the berries now, the berries being poured. Since we got the other one muted, we'll check out when it's the ice. So the berry pour is at 18.389, somewhere up here. Okay, and I kind of do like that. Let's hear the real berries. The real berries are also not bad. Let's figure out what's going to be more in sync. we'll give this a listen. Actually, that's pretty funny because that sound of the bag comes in just as I'm grabbing it. So what we'll do is we'll split this one up into the bag and the actual berries spilling out. And then I don't know that we need all the rest of that. This is maybe going to be like an alternate take after we see how this first one looks. So I'm just going to move that out of the way for now. And let's chop this one into the bag and the berries being poured. Okay, so the berries being poured is really right there. Alright, let's get some sync points going on here. I'm going to zoom in on these. And where do I put the sync point here? Probably right there. And then in this case, I'm going to sync that one. Okay, so let's see on what frame do I grab the bag. So I'm going to use my nudge to see where that happens. Okay, there's my hand going for it, and it gets grabbed like right around here. So we're going to put this, I'll actually do the start of the file, because I'm just barely touching the bag at that moment. So I'm going to do that once again get back to that spot. Okay, boom, boom. Okay, 15.513. So spot mode. Let's listen to how that is working out. So that's actually pretty good. Just I got to move this second part of this over. So I'll probably use shuffle mode to do that, and we'll see if it happens to be in sync or if I have to nudge anything. That actually looks pretty good. Let's get these cup bangs in hit when I hit the cup with the scoop there. I have a few that are far apart and then a few that are quicker. Figuring the ones I did quickly were probably done in a way more similar to what I originally did. So in this case, I am going to use spot mode and a sync point. I have tab to transient on. I'm going to hit tab, jump over there, hit command period, put in a sync point, and let's go ahead and go to spot mode and spot this to where it says on the first one is on the cue sheet 39063.063. Let's see if they just so happen to be on time. No, not quite. Alright, so we're going to have to chop these up and spot them individually. So I'm going to, again, quickly do tab to transient, put in sync point, tab, command period, tab, command period. Okay, so let's sync the other ones now. 39271. This one's going to be at 39438. And this one's going to be at 39641. So much less spread out. Now these are overlapping, as you can see when we zoom in. So we're going to have to just use the trim tool to improve upon that. Okay, there's the second one. The first one, the second one. The third one, as my grandparents from Ireland would say. Alright, so let's see if these seem like they're pretty in sync. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Spot on. That's why they call it spot mode, right? Okay, so to finish this video up, let's sync up the blender and see which of the blender sounds better. We did one close and one far. So let's go ahead and put that in there. This is going to go to 105.969. Get a sync point going. And 105.969. Okay, let's see how that seems now. That seemed to be just about the right amount of time, right? Okay, so let's check out this these other options here. Let's get a sync point right there. Tab to transient, there we go. And command, comma. Alright, and again, 105.969. Let's see what we think of that one. I think that just sounds too close for the shot, so I think we'll go with this one, yeah? Now let's go back and basically compile everything we got here. I'm going to save, and let's just get rid of, we're going to just use the one track. So we're going to get rid of the stuff that we're not using, like this, and we're going to drag from here up to here. And I think that was the only hyper one that we went with, wasn't it? Okay, so let's give it all a look now. Alright, that rice sound's going on a little long. I'm done pouring and you still hear it, so let's see where I'm done with the pouring is around here. So we'll cut it off there. Let's just make sure we don't want to use this sound instead. That's more like a sound of a bag, I think. Yeah, it's good like that. Not bad. Alright, those sounds do not belong there. Get them out. Let's trim it up to like there. There we go. Now I didn't actually get good milk sounds, so I might go back for that. Let's check out the blender now. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, I like the way the sound finishes right when the comes in. Alright, so that's how we get the sounds in there. And now we've definitely got some progress here. We have a whole other section where suddenly this intruder comes into the store. So we're going to feature that in the next video when we talk about Foley and how to make things sound like they're getting closer and farther away. As you saw, he just got closer, and he's about to go farther away after having this awesome smoothie. I mean, that is Academy Award acting right there, folks. Best lead actor, best supporting actor right there. We'll probably put in a louder door slam there as well. Okay, so that'll be in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one, or at least learned something from it if you didn't, totally get your thrills from it. See you next time.